remember to install your Microsoft Access. Okay. So how do we define a relationship? So if you open up this file, right, WLA1-3, have everyone gotten this file? Who is still downloading? Oh, everyone done. Okay, good. Okay, so in this file, we can see the two tables, which is last week we already worked on it. We have a customer table. Okay, I already created this. My goodness. Wait, let me re-download this because just now this morning I worked on it, so cannot see. Download again. Okay, I'll do this one. So WLA1-3. So you open up the two table. I have a customer table. So these are the customer information, 8 of them. And then there's a venue table. In the venue table, we can notice that there's a CID. So the CID is actually a foreign key. Okay, a foreign key because this CID is actually a primary key in the customer. So basically what we have here, the customer, the relationship between these two tables is one customer can run more than one venue. One venue can only be run by one customer. So what we have, the information here, we can see the first two venue, Tapas South and Tapas North. The customer ID is 22, right? So we can refer back to the customer table. Actually, it is run by this Spanish Tapas Bar. That is a customer, the two venue. All right. So we need to link up these two tables. So we want to create a relationship between the two tables, right? So to create a relationship, right? Yeah. So now we want to be the Cupid to create relationship. So Cupid is shoot arrow one, but in Chinese culture is pull string one. You know the Mr. Omun, 月老月. Yeah. So they pull the string, okay, of two person, tie it, okay, that's it. Okay. So how do you create relationship? You go to database tools, there is this relationships. Okay, you click on it. Okay, but in order for you to create the relationship, right? So we want to marry customer and venue together. We want to tie these two together, but you cannot let them know. So you let them know, right? It cannot be done. Okay. So what can be done is you close the table, close the customer and close the venue. So only leave relationship this window open. Okay. You go back to the design. Okay, then you click on show table. So we select both table, we add it in. So I have two tables here now. I have a customer tables, I have a venue table. Okay, so how do you create a relationship? As I say, right, you cannot be a Cupid and shoot them. Because you shoot them, you're gone already. Die. Okay. So what we can do, be more oriental way. We use a string to tie them. So how do you tie? In the customer table, we have a CID, which is a primary key, customer ID. In the venue table, we have another CID here. This CID here is a foreign key. So these two CID actually refer to the same thing. So what we can do, go to either one of it, you click on the ID, CID, click and drag to the other table. On top of it, you release. So now I have both table, customer table CID linked to venue table CID. Below here, I need to enforce the referential integrity. I need to cascade update, cascade delete related field and related records. So what it means here is I need to tie these two. So every customer can operate more than one venue, but every venue must be operated by one customer. So what it means here, all the three boxes here, meaning that I cannot delete a customer record if it is still referred by a venue. Because when I delete, right, then the venue, the CID right, become an invalid code. So that should not happen. Because every venue must start with a customer. So in that case, we need to enforce this. You create, done. I create a one-to-many relationship between these two tables. Okay? Which one? The first one, this one. Everything. All yeah. So we can look at all relationships. Yeah, these are all relationships. Okay, done. We created the relationship for customer and vendor. So if we go back, this is done. You can close it. If you want to leave it there, it's also fine. Okay, you can close it and save the changes, yes, and then you open up customer and venue table. So the venue table is still the same. You go to customer, you realize that there's an additional expense here, the plus sign here. You can expand this and we can see that Spanish tapas bar, yeah, there are two venues, tapas south and tapas north. Done. So now the two tables are connected. So that's how we create relationship. Okay? Okay, done. So the next one we'll work on is forms. Okay? So for forms, basically forms, right, is a user interface. Okay, we have been working on Microsoft Access, looking at the tabular format. The data sheet field is a tabular format. We key in the information into the next record or the next row, and then we browse through by tabular format. But this form actually it gives you an interface where there is some text boxes, and then you can actually navigate and even enter the information through a form kind of interface. So basically, this is just an interface, right? So we have customer and venues tables, and we can create a main form and a subform. How does the main form subform works? Is customer will be the main form. Each customer can operate more than one venue. So the venue table will be a subform inside the main form. Later I will show you how it can be done. Okay? So please download WLA 1-4. So let's download WLA 1-4. Okay. So when you open up the tables, you realize that there's no form that what this handout is trying to ask you to get. So no worry. For form, right? Okay. Actually, it is pretty time consuming to go through all the steps, right? So I would like to save the time because for your in-class test, you will not be asked to create form because you don't need to submit the file. what you need to do is actually answer the question in the MCQ. So what you are expected to do is at least know some of this control. What are there? You don't need to really create the form and so on. So the common one I will show you, and subsequently when we go through more lab activities and exercise, right, I will introduce to you more of the terms and some other features of the form. Right. So for today, right, what we'll do is we just create a form. Right. So at least you know how the form is created and then what are some of the commonly used format for the form. So what we can do here now, in WLA 1-4, how do you create a form? So you go to the Create tab, there's a form group here. So you click on Form Wizard. So you click the Form Wizard, they will ask you, okay, which table do you want to create the form? We have two tables here. One is customer, the other one is venue. So we create the customer table as a main form. And we include all the information. So you click the double arrow key. So we select all the fields. And we'll click next. We want it to be columnar. So keep it as a columnar. Click next, and we can name this form. We put it as customer's form. Okay, so we will open the form to view or to enter the information. So you click finish. Now we created the form. So this is the form you can see from here. There's a customer form, and this is the customer form. So the customer form here, you can see these are the caption, ID, customer, and so on for each of the field in the data. And these are the records. Below here, you can see there's navigation on 1 of 8. So you can navigate to the next one, and you can see that you are now browsing through the records in the customer table. You can go to the last one, which with the star beside it, which means that you go to the next new record, you can start enter information. So you can things like customer, Alibaba, the address, 123, route. I don't know whether correct or not. Okay. The suburb, I put Alex. So state, I put VIC. P code, of course, my favorite 4 digits, 4896. Phone number 8765421 0. First name Anson Cole. Last name Cole. Mobile number 987654321 0. Direct 987654321 0. Okay. Email anson@cole.com. Okay, so once you are done, you click to the next. Okay, it's a new one, but now you go to the 9, and then you can go to the customer table. You click refresh. You will see that the additional record is entered here. So basically, the form, right? It doesn't create new thing. Form is just an interface in front of the table. Okay, so you navigate the data. Actually, it's all extract from the table. When you key in the information, it's all stored back in the table. So that's for the form, right? You can key in the information, and for the form itself, you can edit, or you can do a design of this form. So at the form itself, you go to the top left here, you click on the view. There's a form view, which is the current view. Or you can click on the design view. You go to design view, it will enter into the design window for you to design the form. Okay? So when you come to this form here, there is form header, there is detail, there is form footer. So there are three different sections here. The form header, you key in information like this. You can change the color. For me, I can change the color. I can change the red color, bold, italic, underline, whatever. Then I can add in more things at the form footer. So how do I add more controls? So you can go to the design. Here, these are all the different controls. So I can choose the label. I click on the label itself. Label meaning that I can key in any data inside. Right. I can add it below here. I can say done by Hanson Code. When I make the changes, I can also adjust this part here. Okay, yeah, I can adjust this part here. See, when I adjust this part, the aesthetic, we can adjust the width and so on. This one I leave it to you to play around because it will take a long time if I go through every single one of them. So you can adjust this, and if you go back to the form view, you can see that now this is become red color. This become, I shifted it. You can see the shifted part. And I go to the next record, right? You can see that the customer form and done by Handsome Core here never change. So header and footer will stay throughout the entire form. But center here, the details here will change based on each of the records in your table. Okay? So I'll pause here. I'll let you finish up the word catch up. Okay? And later I'll carry on. Okay. So you can play around with the aesthetic part on the top. You can change the color, you can change the font size and so on. Okay, we can even add one more things. Like for example, over here there's a date and time. You can click on the date and time. You can choose the date format, the time format, click OK. It added to the header. I can shift them down. Okay, I can shift them down to the footer. Alright. So I have a date and time here, so you use the date and time. I can insert an image. So I insert an image. Okay, I browse the image, and just now I have downloaded the image, which is the logo. So I can insert the logo. Okay, where's my image? Oh, here. Now I can insert the logo. Okay, so if you need the logo, right, actually it's in the Google Drive. Okay, so I insert the image. I can put my text. Okay, I put it here, but it's covered. I can always right click and the layout, the position, I bring it to the front. Done. Nice. So I put this here, I put the customer form. Okay. I can also insert buttons. Okay, but these are buttons maybe later. Now I insert a few things here. Is I think should be good enough. So I save this a bit more. Okay, so you go back to the design, the form view, and you can see now I got more things. I got picture. I have today. Today is Tuesday, 7th of August, and the time. If I go to the next record, you can see the time will be updated because it is at the point of when this record is being extracted from the table. So let me go back to the design view. Okay, so you need to insert image is here. Okay, so next we can also add in another subform. So you can click on the drop down on the control. These are the control. Okay, right now I'm actually using the cursor. You can put a text box, a label, and so on. Okay, so these are the control. So the control include a subform. You can see this one, subform or subreport. Because in our database here, customer and venue are linked up. Each customer can operate more than one venue. So venue is another table where I can insert a subform. I put it here, okay? And this over here is called an unbound. So where is an unbound? Later I will use the PDF file to explain to you what is unbound. But just take it that this is unbound. Unbounds come from the database. So I use an existing table and query. I click next. The table that I will use, it will be the venue table for this subform. The main form is for customer. The subform is for the venue. I want to include all the field. Alright? So venue, table venue here. When I click next, okay, how would you like to link up the customer table with the venue table? Then I will say that show venue for each record in customer using CID, which is a foreign key, correct? I click next. And I call it a venue subform. I click finish. Now I have my subform here. Okay? And if I go to the form view, I can see that, hey, yeah, below here there's a subform. Nice. So for customer 1, this is a customer 1. If for customer 2, just now we know that it is a Spanish tapas bar. And each of the table or each of the record in the venue table will be shown here as a subform. Huh? Which one? The subform? Okay, let me repeat for the subform. So let me delete this. So how do you insert a subform? Go to this subform control, click on it, subform or subreport, click on it. Now you go to the empty space in your form here, just click anywhere, later you can adjust. So what we have used, you choose existing table and queries. The table, you choose venue because I need all the field in this venue here to be used. You click next. And how do you link up the customer table with the venue table? Is by the venue for each record in customer using the CID. The CID is a foreign key in venue table, but a primary key in customer table. So it's okay, I choose this one, that's right, click next. Now, I save the subform in the name. I put subform 1 because just now I already created a subform. So I click finish, done. Okay, if you go to the preview for the form, you'll see that here I have a venue subform, but it's in the tabular format. So if I go to the next record here, Spanish tapas bar, okay, I have this Papa South and Papa North. Done. So I go back to the design view. Now I let your, I choose this one. Okay, so don't worry if you cannot create this or the form looks very ugly and so on, because for the test purposes, right, you are not expected to create this, but you will be asked certain things. Probably I'm not sure for the form, because usually we will skip the form part. Okay, because it's really time consuming to do that. Probably you need to know what is called a subform and some of the different controls here. Okay. Because the in-class is MCQ, so at most they give you a picture and ask you point a particular part. So this is called what? Or maybe it's called, this is a subform. Alright? Yeah. And then now in this handout here, it actually asks you, or it actually show you something what is called a bound control, what is called an unbound control. Okay, so now let me tell you what is called a bound control and what is the unbound control. So let's go back to this form here, and then we go into the design view like here. You can see here, customer, address, ID, suburb, all these are the captions that we get from the data table design. So this is actually called an unbound field. Why is called unbound field? Because this information I can change. I can change customer to customer name. Okay? Yeah. And the C name, C address, C suburb, and all these things is actually matched with the customer. Let's see. Yes. The customer table field name. So these are the bound field. So these are the bound field. Bound field means what? Meaning that the information in each of these text box, right? Text box here will be depending on the record from the customer table. So the unbound will be taking the heading. The unbound will be the rest of the records. Alright? So meaning that it usually get from the data table. So if we look at this customer form again, we go to design view, you can see customer name, this one I can change. But inside here, this part here, cannot. These are all extracted from the data record. So this is called bound field. This is called unbound. Alright? So that's what we have for the different type of controls. And the last one is a calculated field. The calculated field meaning that there is no such records in the data table, but we can perform a calculation and get this information to show in the form. So what is this calculated? Like for example, you can calculate the total cost and so on, right? But I'm not going to do this thing now. We will do it later, okay, in our subsequent activity, right? Okay, so there's another different control calculated. The rest is just a description of each of the section in the form, okay, either the design or the form view. So I leave it to you, okay, to run through this one. Right, just read and understand this thing. Okay, then the rest we no need to work on it. Subsequently, when we touch on form, I will tell you more. All right. Okay, so that's all for the introducing access WLA. Okay, so I'll pause a while for you all to wrap up this thing. but the lesson not end yet. We'll go through one more exercise. Okay? Yeah, because the lights hasn't on. Huh? The light still, then you know, right? When time's up, it will on the light. So we still have time, and we completed the activities here. Okay, so now we move on to topic 4. We look at analytical tool in Access. Particularly, we look at this PLA. So go to the Google Drive and download topic 4. Okay, analytical tools PLA 2. Right. So analytical tools and in Access PLA 2. After you downloaded it, you realize that it asks us to open up this database file, which is a PLA 2-1 ACCDB. Yeah, do that also. Okay. So there are some descriptions on this particular learning activities. This is a preparation, but you should prepare first one. Okay? Yeah. So, really on already. But we're not going to end. We still carry on. Okay, so now let's look at the data table. Okay, yeah. You can see that, hey, this one is done, very nice, the form. Okay, but we're not going to touch on the form yet. Okay, because this one is already created. So let's look at each of the table. Here we have the customer table. We have been looking at it for quite a number of files. We have the venue tables. Yeah, it's also similar, right? And there is a maintenance contract. Okay, so there's a maintenance contract on different contract ID, okay, and so on. There's a services. So these services include servicing dates and so on. So there is this whether it's scheduled or completed. So actually it's servicing for the tab that installed. The number of tabs, these are the tab ID. So meaning that the primary key and installed at which venue, what kind of type, what kind of tab, and so on, and the contract ID, meaning that under the servicing contract, which contract ID it is. The tab type, we have 3 different kind of tab, and so on. So we have added quite a number of tables here. Alright, so we look at this data table. We go back to this document here. It also gives you a description about what is inside the maintenance contract table, what is inside the service table, and okay, then the database design assumption is telling you that each customer has many venues. A venue can only be controlled by one customer. So this is a one-to-many relationship. A venue can have many tabs, but a tab belongs to only one venue. So this is a one-to-many relationship. A tab type can have many tabs. A tab can belong to only one particular tab type. So this is also a one-to-many relationship. So examine the relationship table. So how about maintenance contract and service table relationship with other table? So how do we look at the relationship? So you go back to this database here. you go to the database tools, you click on relationship, you can see the existing relationship of the table. Okay? You can see this here. So we still have the service table and the maintenance contract table is not linked up with the rest. We have one customer operating more than one venue. One venue can have more than one tab. One tab type only can have more than one tab. Okay, and then the tabs belong to only one venue and one particular type. So this has been pre-done, okay, for the relationship. Now, how about service table and a maintenance contract? Try it, see whether you can link up the table. But we can notice that over here at the service table, service ID is the primary key. So service ID is a primary key. We have a T asset number. So the T asset number is a foreign key. T asset number is a primary key in the tab table. We have the T serial number. Okay, nothing can be seen here, so don't worry. And that's all. Then we have a maintenance contract and an MCID. So we found that MCID is a foreign key in the tabs. So what we can do, we can link the service table with the tab and then the maintenance contract with the tabs table. So try it, how you create the relationship for the remaining tables. Okay. So while you are doing, right, I also do lah. So T asset number, click, drag to service table, T asset on top, T asset let go. Enforce and the referential integrity and all the three boxes check, click create. Oh, it cannot be created because why? The T asset number and all these things are open. So when they are open, right, you cannot create relationship. So what we do, you have to close each of these table. For me, I'm a lazy person. To close each of these, I find it a hassle. So what I do, I close all. Close all, and then I just open up the relationship table again. Okay, then I'll create this T asset number, click and drag and drop here, enforce. Done, and then there's an MCID, create and combine, join them, create, done. So I have completed the relationship tables. Okay. We still have 8 minutes. So the next one is to download this Word document, the problem opportunity. This one very fast one. Download this Word document. This is actually to prepare for the next exercise. Okay, so what is in the next exercise is we want to generate information from the table that we have created. So for example here, we have 2 tables, customer value table. So out of these 2 tables, what can we create? So we need the sum of the attributes, right? For example here, okay, in customer table, I need the name. In value table, I need the ID for the value. So what I want to gather from this information is based on each of the customer, I want to know how many value belongs to that customer. So I can do a count how many VID happens under the C name. Then in that case, I will be able to use this information for my business, okay, to know how many venue operated by the customer. So the customer operate 10 venue. Wow, this is my premium customer because when I sell the tape, I can sell to all the venues. Alright? Or I can also create another a table. Out of this one is like the contact person for each of the venue under the same customer. So I can generate like using the V phone and the V contact. Okay, I can also get a contact list for each of the customer. I can use the C name, C first, C last, C more, and then C direct email, right, to get the information. So you can generate different table out of a combination of more than one tables, right? So this actually prepare us for the next activity, which we are only doing next week, which is to generate queries. Here are some of the terms, okay? If you can't remember the terms, okay, just do a Google search, okay? Things that have been used are pretty often. Data redundancy, I mentioned about it. Attributes is just the field name. The referential integrity, we do it when you create a relationship. Calculated field, just now we have seen this, but we will only work on it in the subsequent learning activities. Primary key, mentioned a few times already. Alright, so that's about it. Yeah, we only can complete the PLA. So the rest of the activities, okay, where is it? Here. Okay, we will do it next week. Okay? Yeah. So that's all. And for those who haven't do the formative test, please do it at home. Okay? Or when you are free, nothing to do in school, yeah, you can do work on this one. So let me see who have completed that. This one is under LFO.